Will you regret moving to Sacramento in 2026? The honest answer, hopefully not. But if it was me and I was moving to an area, I would want to research it as much as humanly possible. And in tonight's show, we're going to talk a little bit about statistics on some of the suburbs people are choosing to move into in the Sacramento area. We can compare 2026 to 2025. We're also going to talk generally to our audience. And yes, guys, this is a live show. So you're getting a lot of people who are living in Sacramento, who are moving to Sacramento, who just have those good insights that only people who live here actually will provide. And believe me, this is a very lively audience and everyone's going to be commenting, questioning, and all that kind of fun stuff. And you'll get to see it even on the replay. So let's break it in. Let's talk a little bit about it. And let's talk about Sacramento in just general. Let's break it down. We're going to talk Folsom, Granite Bay, Elk Grove, and some of the other locations people are moving into, and look at how the market has developed over just even the last year. We all know right now the market's a tad bit cold, but Sacramento is still growing, thriving. We got new homes. We got luxury communities. We have houses on the water. We have golf course communities. We have pretty much everything anyone's looking for if they're looking for that California lifestyle. But is Sacramento the right choice for you? Well, guys, let's get into the show, ask your questions, and let's hopefully at the end of the show, we'll get you some answers and you can decide if Sacramento could be a location that would fit what you're looking for. Let's get into a show. Rule number one, time your life. Do not time the market. But let's talk a little bit about Sacramento. Guys, in this show, I brought in statistics of some of the suburbs people have moved into. Now, for me, I'm a realtor in the area and how realtors are, but these are statistics. And I was thinking to myself, like, if it was me and I was moving into an area, what would make me feel a little bit more comfortable about my decision, right? As far as moving, whether you're coming from SoCal, whether you come from Denver, wherever. I mean, you're moving to Sacramento and you're thinking to yourself, man, I don't know where to move in Sacramento. I don't know if Sacramento is a good bang for your buck, the economy, gas prices, and everything too. So I wanted to showcase a little bit of this year versus last year and some of these suburbs people are moving into to show you guys exactly, data and kind of show you a little bit about some of these places that are actually doing pretty well. Last year altogether was it was an okay market. It was okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It was okay, right? Demand we thought would be crazy, but demand really wasn't as strong. We had a lot of 2.75 buyers listing a little too high, and the market wasn't fantastic. This year it's kind of been a little bit like that, except we've had this random surge of demand, which seems as the last couple of weeks since rates started going up has cooled off just a bit. So I want to showcase a little bit about numbers because at the end of the day, that's something concrete, something you can kind of stick your teeth into, as opposed to me telling you how amazing Sacramento is. And it is amazing. So we'll get into the numbers, and I got Folsom, I got Granite Bay, I got Elk Grove, I got some numbers, some areas and everything too. So we're going to show you a little bit of what that looks like. Because for me, again, if I was moving into a location, an area, and I didn't really know it that well, I would say to myself, I'm looking to buy a house. This is a huge investment. How has it done historically, previously? What are we looking like? So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. The main issue about toilets always being installed next to the shower, or am I alone in dislike for this? I'm with you. I'm not a big fan of that. The other thing too about new homes specifically is the fact that there's no doorways between the primary bedroom and the primary bathroom. I mean, there's just no doorways, which just drives me absolutely crazy. We got Wendy. We're going to jump into it, but I want to hit some questions. Can the soul and emotional experience of a home create a stronger connection than luxury finishes or perfectly updated features? Okay, here's my thought as far as that goes. I've seen the most amazing luxury homes, finishes, but they feel cold. I think one of the big things about moving into a house, whether it's small, big, whatever, it's more about the furniture. It's more about like that. I think furniture adds a whole aspect. I have walked into like 7,000 square foot homes and they feel cold. There's no energy, positive energy. It just doesn't feel, I don't know. It's just, there doesn't feel like to have that like welcoming feeling. And I've gone into 1,800 square foot homes, not a ton of furniture, just enough where I feel like, wow, this is really like, it feels like good. It feels like very much like high end, nice. It just feels like, I don't know what, like more of an elegant, more of like proper kind of feeling to it. So I do think so, but I think a lot of people will like buy these houses and, you have to understand that if you're buying a luxury house or whatever, you kind of have to add the furniture in. Those are like some of the touches that you need. It's like, buying like a Ferrari, and guys, I do grab my tires at Costco, but if you got a Ferrari, you got to kind of shop in that kind of neighborhood to make the whole thing kind of work. So I do think that luxury finishes are beautiful. I think they're nice, but I think furniture, I think also the energy and the vibe and the soul of a home, I think that for me at least counts a lot more. I'm a big fan of, like, I don't know if I'm really a big fan of like super, like, you know, there's a friend of mine, and I won't name names, and he was telling me about his friend who's a realtor, and he has this amazing house, $3.5 million house in Serrano. It's just this gorgeous house. And he's like, I've been there a few times, and he's got a bunch of kids, but you'd never guess he had any kids. Like, there's no toys out, there's no mess. Everything is super put together properly. Everything is where it should be and everything too. And I don't live that way. I think that adds a little bit of a coldness to a house. I mean, it's great, but I mean, how many times are you going to have people over for that stuff too? So I think that furniture, I think ambience, I think like energy, I think you really, and that's why there are a lot of interior designers who focus in on that stuff. So hopefully that's not long-winded, but hopefully that answers your question. Pamela, how are you doing this evening? Jason Smith, Mr. Instagram, is here. Okay, so we're going to go into some stats, and we're going to talk a little bit about Sacramento. Again, you know, for me, I made the move to Sacramento a long time ago. For the longest time, I considered Sacramento my stop between the Bay Area and Lake Tahoe, and then I discovered it. I figured out how amazing it was. The biggest mistake I feel is that I didn't pick up that one of those Los Lagos houses for $850 back in the day. It happens, but I'm glad I moved in now. I love the community vibe here. I love the people. I think we're growing. I think that we have a lot of land. I think the only negative I'd say right now, the growing pains of Sacramento, is our infrastructure needs to be dialed in a little bit more. We need to work on, highways like 50 is supposed to be done this year. And I'm really doubting it at this point. We've got to get our freeways dialed in. We've got to get Placer Parkway. We've got to get the connector going, and we've got to get some infrastructure, because we don't have that one, what's called highway freeway that circles the entire area like most metro areas do. And for us, we have big arteries, like we have Hazel, we have Sunrise, we have Bradshaw. These are the ways we go from point A to B, and 5 o'clock or Sunrise, 5 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning, they're real bears because we don't have that freeway. Our public transportation needs a lot of work. We need to work on the light rail needs to be improved, which they're doing right now. And Amtrak is supposed to be connected to the Natomas Airport. All these things need to be done. But as far as that's already underway. Sacramento and the metro area, the reason why we have so many new homes being built, and new homes also in our area, they're pretty much the same price, or maybe even sometimes a little cheaper than resale homes as well too. And we have an abundance of them because we have land and people are building. You got Taylor Morrison, Lennar, Woodside, Tri-Point, Pulte, Woodside, Toll Brothers, Tim Lewis. You got so many builders. It's not even funny because we have the land, and with all the homes being built, you're not going to like the Mellorews, of course, no one does, but you're also going to get new commercial like complexes, like bougie little malls like everybody likes, and you're going to get a lot of new stores, new restaurants, new schools, fire departments, police departments, roads, and parks. And we're talking parks that have like splash pads. I mean, if you go to Roseville, have you guys seen those soccer fields, like 15 or 20 of them just lined up? There's a lot of fun things in the Sacramento area. If you're someone who likes to go out and, Sacramento might not be that for you because we have that suburban vibe here. We're Netflix, we're barbecues, we're get-togethers in the houses. And so that's kind of what Sacramento is about. And infrastructure, maybe the heat during the summertime. But I mean, I was in my pool today, as you can probably tell by the sun. I enjoy the heat. I like the idea of having the pool. I'll probably go out there after the show. So there's pros to living in Sacramento, a lot of them. A lot of people move here for the affordability because in the Bay Area, and I did bring some statistics tonight. We're going to compare Walnut Creek, which is a super, nice community in the Bay Area, and we're going to compare Walnut Creek to Granite Bay statistics. I'm going to show you something because Granite Bay is one of those areas that's one of the most expensive areas to buy into in Sacramento. We're going to compare Granite Bay to Walnut Creek statistics. And I'm going to show you guys some crazy stuff that is going to show that if you live in the Bay Area and you just have that regular house that's worth $2-3 million, you can buy into some of the most amazing communities in the Sacramento area. I mean, myself, those communities are a little bit too much house for me, but some people love it. All right. Jason, do you know when Shawwood is building West Roseville or Lincoln? I think West Roseville is next. I'll find out the exact details for it. I had it. I apologize. I talked to Cameron up at Shawwood, and she told me. I'm going to see if I can get stuff on the map and figure out exactly where that is. I'm also doing a video in the future with Joe up at Toll Brothers, and we're going to drive through every single Toll Brothers community, Rancho Marietta, the one they're building in West Sacramento and everything too. It's going to be a fun one. Jason, interview's coming soon. Yes, I got a realtor from Charlotte who's going to be on the show, and I've been reaching out to a couple Texas realtors and Florida realtors. So it's going to be fun. We're going to have some fun stuff going on. And if you guys see a rock star realtor who does YouTube, because usually the YouTube realtors are very, very much like, yeah, let's do it. Let's get on the show and let's have some fun and let's go. A lot of the old school realtors don't really do that. They don't know really how to market. No offense. Even in the Sacramento area, it's funny. I mean, some of the people who are closing a lot of deals just are dead afraid of cameras. They don't market their properties on YouTube or anything. They just do the old school, like, flyer the neighborhood and everything too. So yeah, I'll see if I can get you guys some realtors, good ones. And like I said, if you know some good realtors, let them to reach out to me. I promise you straight up, they will be on. All right, I'm moving next year. I'll be there in 2 weeks. Oh my God, that's awesome. How excited are you? Now, I'm going to tell you something. It is a little warm right now. So just a heads up. I mean, today it was pretty hot. So bring your water, bring fans, get a little, but it's great. I mean, I think right now, the thing I would tell people right now, if they're thinking about moving into Sacramento, it is hot in Sacramento. I would say the market has cooled over the last couple of weeks because rates have been going up. Gas prices are crazy as well too. But Sacramento is great. If you're looking for new homes, I mean, West Roseville, Rancho, Elk Grove, West Sacramento, there's some amazing areas. Placer One even as well too. If you're looking for, yeah, we got everything here. You're going to love it. And if you have questions, I got you. All right, Derek, hopefully you're having good. Hopefully you guys are all having a great summer so far. I woke up this morning and, I just felt very lucky that you guys tune in, lucky the show is doing what it's doing. The channel hit over 14,000 subscribers. We've been doing this for about 7 years. We're the only live show that I know that does this type of show in the United States as far as city-centric. So we're going to keep it going and everything too. It's kind of like the YouTube algorithm killer, but I love the show. And I think a lot of people, if I moved into an area, I'd want something like this where I could ask some questions. So tell a friend. I really, really appreciate you guys tuning in, and we're going to get into some stats. All right. Wow. Yeah, it is hot. Oh man, if you are tired of long winters, you are going to love Sacramento. It's hilarious though for me. I saw my wife, and I don't mean to go in tangents today, but I saw my wife. When I lived in the Bay Area, our pools were those pools where you'd sit outside the pool and lay out or something, and you jump in the pool on almost a dare. They were always so cold. Here in Sacramento, during summer times, your pool can get up to like 84, 85 degrees without even solar. So you can actually enjoy them. And because during summertime, it gets really, really warm, you can enjoy them well into like 7, 8 o'clock. A lot of people in Sacramento, if you have pools or if you have a friend who has a pool, even better, like you have these kind of get-togethers that go like kind of like a while. Grill, barbecue. I mean, you can barbecue some veggie burgers, all that stuff too. It's fun. All right. Need a Phoenix realtor, the Canary Metro. Ooh, okay. All right. Let me see if I can do a little screenshot so I can remember this one. I'm going to reach out to her. And also, here's the thing, Jason, this is a good one. If you want to, in the comments underneath this video, put one of those @ signs and put her YouTube channel, and she'll see the video. And then we can start a conversation. Cause I'm always good for, getting realtors on here. Like Corey's on here a lot. Sam's been on here a few times. I mean, but the funniest thing about realtors in the Sacramento area, a lot of them don't want to do this. It's easier to do those kind of like, the 3 million takes to get the video right thing. Live videos are scary. People don't like it. They just shy away from it. So, but I'm down for that. All right. So with hantavirus, now can go back to 2.5 rates. I'll tell you something, Jason, and this is the thing that scares me the most, because who promised us that rates would be going down and all that stuff too. I'm worried that we're going to start artificially, buying bonds and bringing the market back down to 2.5s. And for a lot of people, you might be thinking that's a great idea, but in the long run, I mean, it's not that good of an idea. I mean, it affects like our kids and people trying to buy in the market and later. So I don't know. It'll be interesting how everything plays out, but something's got to give right now. You know, a lot of people feel like they were promised something and it's not being delivered. So I don't know. For me, all I can tell you is about our market specifically, and I love our market, guys. I love the growth. I love the areas and everything too. Okay, so let's jump into some stats and everything. Again, the last couple of weeks, market has been a little slower. It's been a little colder. Rates have been going up, and I just think that people expected when Jerome Powell left his post that things would change, but they really haven't. In fact, today it went down a little bit, but for the most part, it was spiking. Okay, so let's look at some of the areas that are those areas people absolutely love in the Sacramento area, and we got a bunch of them for you guys today. So make sure you tune in. You got Folsom. All right, so Folsom's beautiful. It's right by the water, absolutely gorgeous. Folsom is one of those spots that Johnny Cash made famous, but it's just that spot that has a Tahoe-like vibe. Lots of great communities in Folsom. I mean, just absolutely a stunner. And as far as Folsom goes, let's talk about like sold homes. As far as since April last year, I mean, we're up. I mean, there's 82 homes that were sold in April. Let me see if we can move this a little further because I cannot see it. So, think about it this way. If you're someone who, let's say, bought a home last year and you're seeing these stats, I mean, you're happy. There's like sold homes are increasing. That means the movement in the market is good. Pending sales are up, versus March 2026. We're down a little bit, but that's just because a lot of people are eating up the Folsom inventory and there's not as much. So homes for sale, 113 down. Again, people are eating up the inventory in Folsom. So if you look at some of these statistics, it's going to show you that, from last year to this year, even though last year was not a great year, this year, kind of the same year, Folsom is still one of those spots people are absolutely loving. And there's people who have actually purchased their house last year who are probably already up. And, this is, and Folsom's got to be one of those spots that we get calls for all the time. Inventory, April 2026, 1.4. So that's not a whole lot of inventory for people. Now, what you notice probably is in January and February, maybe a little bit in March, you saw inventory still kind of pick up. We had a surge of demand. It's slowed down right now, but it ate up a lot of inventory. And in Folsom, it really, really ate it up. So as far as our inventory goes, if you look at this, look at that, down from last year. I mean, people are eating up Folsom homes. What does that mean for you if you're looking to sell your home? Supply and demand. So, that's not bad. Absorption rate, oof. I mean, Folsom is a solid market. Look at this. One of the strongest price signals, values are rising. I mean, look at that. That's just crazy. So we're up, the average sold price per square foot, $387, up from last year. And it's just going. Folsom is that market that's super strong. I don't know. Now, if you guys want me to also bring some statistics, and these are directly from the MLS, let me know in the comments below if you like the pocket, if you like, East Sacramento, if you like Rockland, put them in the comments. And next week I'll bring on some statistics about that. I just had to pick some areas to do today. So, and showing you this, tell me if you were someone who was skeptical about moving to Sacramento, skeptical about buying Folsom. I mean, you got to be a happy camper looking at these statistics. I mean, look at that. Homes are selling faster and for full asking price, if not way over. Days on the market, 20, I mean, it's just nuts. I mean, look at that. 9 days from last, it's up to 20 now. Things are moving a lot quicker. Whew, man. I mean, guys, Folsom is flying. So why am I bringing these statistics in? To show you guys a little bit about what the numbers kind of look like in our market for some of the key areas that people are moving into. And that's just Folsom. Folsom is rocking. Now we go to Elk Grove. Elk Grove is the southernmost part of the Sacramento area. If you're looking for a place closest to the Bay Area, close to downtown Sacramento, you got the 757, 758, 624. Elk Grove is a great spot. Now they're doing the connector project as well too. That's connecting Elk Grove with El Dorado Hills. Don't know how long that's going to be. But Elk Grove's another one. It's always been super, super hot. And look at this. Active listings, 247. Okay, so let's talk about it versus March 2026. Okay, up. But against last year, I mean, we're down. I mean, it was down. So it's like, oh man, look at that. Even here, look at that. Man, we are eating it up. All right. So if you look at Elk Grove and you look at it versus 2025, we have less active listings right now than we had in 2025 because they are getting eaten up. Man, Elk Grove's another market. So if you guys like Elk Grove, again, competition is going to be a little fierce in Elk Grove, as it always is. Inventory, I don't think inventory is going to get better in Elk Grove. I think it's probably going to get worse. The good thing about Elk Grove, though, as opposed to like a Folsom, if you've noticed, Folsom slowed down a little bit in the builders. They used to have like Taylor, Tri-Point, Woodside, all these builders, and it slowed down. Now in Folsom, you have just a handful of houses here and there to buy that are new. You got Shawwood, yes, on the hill. You have Taylor's going to be building their new community in the near future. You still got Lennar and you still got KB and Woodside condos. So there's not as much building as there were before, which is driving people into the resale market in Folsom. Now, Elk Grove, if you look at it here, Elk Grove is one of those spots that I notice a lot of relos love new homes. And in Elk Grove, you got Beazer, Tim Lewis finished up. Meritage, I think, is starting up there as well too. You got Lennar. You got some key builders here in Elk Grove too, especially in the 757. Now, one thing to keep in mind with Elk Grove is, especially in the 757, is that there is Melrose. Some of the highest Melrose I've seen is in Elk Grove, so just be aware of that. But other than that, people love Elk Grove. People who value the idea of being kind of close to downtown Sacramento, who value the idea of kind of maybe having to commute 1 or 2 days to San Francisco. Elk Grove is nice. Now, the thing that I will tell you about Elk Grove is that I notice in Elk Grove that people are loyalists. Like Elk Grove is that spot that if you grew up there, that's where you want to be, and that's it. We're not talking to Thomas. We're not talking anything. Elk Grove is that spot. I also noticed that if I move one person into Elk Grove, normally like a sister moves in, a friend moves in. So Elk Grove tends to be that spot, very community friendly. Everyone kind of seems to know each other, and Elk Grove is that spot, probably in all the Sacramento area. What I mean by that is, in Folsom, some people will go, I want to either go to Folsom or maybe go to El Dorado Hills, maybe even Rockland. Some people are like, Granite Bay, maybe El Dorado Hills, maybe Loomis. Elk Grove, specifically, what I run into is people are like, I want Elk Grove, and that's it. So take that with a grain of salt. Elk Grove is, again, one of the most competitive markets. Now, I would say the thing about the difference between Folsom and Elk Grove is the fact that Folsom, I think you can't really find too much in Folsom, maybe under $750,000. So the market, if you're trying to jump into Folsom for something between $750 and maybe 1.1, that's really, really fierce in Folsom. I'd say a little higher than that. It's still pretty competitive, but then at that price point, people are competing with El Dorado Hills and you're competing with Granite Bay and even sometimes Loomis. Now, I would say Elk Grove's sweet spot, probably around 650, 750, maybe even if you can get it like maybe low sixes. So that's where Elk Grove really, really shines. It's that spot that if you kind of want it all, but you don't want to have that huge, huge price tag of a Folsom or El Dorado Hills, people like Elk Grove. Now, that is changing though. The price point in Elk Grove is getting higher and higher and higher. I mean, look at that. 320. Did you notice that when I was talking about Folsom over here? I mean, it's closing in on Folsom straight up. So you got this, what do you got? Month over month, price per square foot is increasing. It's just nuts. As of last year though, this is kind of crazy though. It was down as of last April 2025, which I found kind of interesting. I don't know if that had new home effect or whatnot, but that I found very, very interesting because Elk Grove never really experiences that. So yeah, that's one thing to keep in mind if you're moving to Elk Grove. I would say that, comparatively towards last year, the price per square foot, the average price per square foot is a little bit down. But again, as far as month over month active listings, you can get in there. So you got what, 249, and now, it's growing, which is nice. Okay, I like Elk Grove. Now, days of market, 44. As of March 2026, it was 41. So days of market is increasing. As of April, it was 30. So Elk Grove, again, it's still competitive. It's still nice. And based on these stats that we're looking at right now, Elk Grove could be a little soft too, which is nice. I have not seen Elk Grove soft. Maybe 3 years ago for about 2-month period it was. If you guys like Elk Grove, I mean, this is pretty solid to jump into, to be honest, looking at it. All right, let's get some questions and we'll get back to some more areas. All right. Dun, dun, dun. There we go. Sorry about that. All right, the fictional bullet train should have went to Tahoe to Sacramento. That would have been so nice. Oh man, that would have been great. Which one has the fastest pace, Sacramento or Santa Rosa? A faster pace? Santa Rosa, the thing about Santa Rosa, especially after that fire, I don't really know what that vibe is in Santa Rosa anymore. I mean, I grew up in Marin, so Santa Rosa was always a stomping ground. So it was a little more farmy. I'd say Sacramento, depending on where you go. I mean, you can go to places like Midtown, places like, downtownish that are probably a little bit more lively than Santa Rosa. But I would say if I was going to compare the Santa Rosa vibe to somewhere in, I don't know, in Sacramento, I'd say probably a little bit maybe Roseville-ish, but maybe not as much shopping. So yeah, it's nice though. Right. Rockland is good too. Yeah. Rockland is nice. People love Rockland, but the thing about Rockland, though, I would keep in mind is that in my humble opinion, there's two Rocklands. There's Rockland on the 80 and Rockland on the 65. Both Rocklands are in PG&E territory, but the 65 is a little bit further out there. 65, you got stuff like, like what is it? In the 65, you have Whitney Ranch. You got kind of like the Whitney Oaks area as well, too, out there. And then over on the other side, the 80, you have like where the new Toll Brothers is building. A lot of people like, especially if you're someone who needs to commute to downtown, they like being on the 80. And it's kind of like a no as far as the 65 goes. It's a little too far away. Now, for me, one of my favorite HOA communities, Whitney Ranch, $82 HOA. You get the pool, cabanas, really nice vibe. So I don't know. For me, I think that Rockland is pretty good, but I would actually say that the 80 and 65 Rockland, I'd say the 80 Rockland feels a little bit more like East Roseville, whereas the other side of Rockland feels a little bit like its own thing, or maybe even like the 12 Bridges of Lincoln. So that's kind of the vibe I get. Right. I want to know more about Orangevale and Cameron Park. Are there families moving into those areas? Yeah. 100%. Orangevale, I always include Orangevale with like Orangevale, Citrus Heights, Carmichael, and Fair Oaks. They're those areas that when, because Folsom gets a lot of attention, Roseville gets a lot of attention. Those areas gets kind of forgotten. But for me, I think Cameron Park is like little El Dorado Hills. I think you can get a great house there. The only thing about Cameron Park that's a little weird is there's the lack of sidewalks. A lot of the streets don't have sidewalks. But other than that, I think it's beautiful. I think it's hilly. I think you just got to watch out for home insurance and make sure you've got a good guy quoting it out for you. But I think Cameron Park is awesome. I think some people might feel like it's far away from downtown. But I think a lot of people who haven't explored Sacramento don't realize the fact that you really don't have to be close to downtown. You just need a shopping hub, and the shopping hub is going to be Folsom, which may be 15, 18 minutes away, depending on traffic. So yeah, I like Cameron Park. I think it's great. I was looking at Cameron Park for a little while, but it was too far for me. Even El Dorado Hills was a little too far, but I think Cameron Park is amazing. Orangevale, I think if you look at the Orangevale also, that's kind of like butted up to Folsom. I think that is probably one of the top secret areas that I would be looking at. I think if you look at Orangevale as well too, and you're looking bougie, Woodbridge, I mean, if you go in there, it looks like mini Texas in there with these big houses, big pieces of land. Orangevale's a great. I'd move people into Orangevale, and they love it. They get good houses, good price point. I think the price point is better than your Fair Oaks, your Carmichael. Yeah, Orangevale's great, but they get overlooked. And I think if you drive into Orangevale, it'll confuse you because parts of Orangevale definitely feel like Folsom. Cameron Park, parts of it feel like El Dorado Hills. So I think you're getting like all the atmosphere, all the amazing stuff from like, that you would probably get in certain areas in Orangevale and Folsom, but you don't have the price tag. And that's great for me. In fact, there's even parts of Orangevale that are butted up to Granite Bay where you're in those schools as well too. So I like Orangevale. I think Orangevale is great. In Cameron Park, I think as we see this development of El Dorado Hills, like we're seeing with East Ridge Village and everything too, I think Cameron Park is going to be, I don't know, there's going to be less building up there. There's going to be more like trees. Yeah, I like Cameron Park. I think Cameron Park is really, really awesome. So yeah, Cameron Park for me, even Shingle Springs. So yeah, those areas are nice. Right. What do you think about Meritage homes that were built in the late 80s to early 90s, where they were built, they have defects and problems? I haven't run into Meritage homes. Like I haven't run into homes in the 80s or 90s by Meritage that have had any problems that I know of. Again, I think it's less about the builder, more just about the build crew. Now for anyone looking for like new homes, right? Everyone's always like, hey, are they a good builder? Are they a bad builder? All this stuff. I think, there are if you're buying a more affordable home, the materials are going to be cheaper, right? So, and little things, right? Like doorways and everything. But if you're looking for actually like good versus bad, it's going to be more about the superintendent and the crew running the stuff. So I think for Meritage, if I was going to look into a community that was built in the 80s or 90s, I would search for that and see if that community specifically, there are bad things happening. I myself have never run into it. But again, I mean, I haven't searched every single community out there. So I would do diligence. And guys, here's the thing about me. If you hear anything that on the show that we're going over, if I maybe got something wrong, which we are all human, feel free to reach out to me and I can clarify whatever I go over on the show with you guys. And we can do it anonymously. You don't have to work with me or whatever, but I'm good that way. Also understand this is a live show. So occasionally I will do this or do that. If you catch me on something, please let me know. I don't mean to, but you guys try going an hour and a half live every single Wednesday. Not that easy. If you guys also are enjoying the show, smash that like button. Okay. All right. There's nothing going on in Santa Rosa. I used to go to Santa Rosa back in the day. That was our place. We used to go up to Santa Rosa. And now with the fire, I don't know what it is. I know there's a lot of beautiful homes being built up there. I just don't know. So, Alana, throwing it out there. Happy birthday. I appreciate it. Yep. Another year. What is another year? Another year around the sun. Yeah. Thanks, Alana. And congratulations to you as well. And you know what I'm talking about. I'm super stoked for you. All right. Happy birthday to the GOAT. I appreciate it. And tell me next time your live is going on, or maybe, you know what? Here's the thing. I know you love social media and videos. I'm thinking you and I do a collab and we can get you on the show and have some fun. So reach out. I'm not even joking. I never joke. Reach out and let's see if we can get you on the show because I love your energy, man. I'll tell you something. And you guys got to follow his account and his YouTube channel. He's got passion. He's got energy. I can't believe you have so much energy doing so many home tours. It's beyond me. So, I think having good energy in the YouTube world for people is great. And I think you're really bringing your A game. So if you want to, let's get on the show. All right. I'm from Vermont. Okay. All right. Mr. Mark, glad you're live. Saving for down in progress. Happy birthday. Appreciate it, Tony. Yes. Saving for the down payment. That's a huge one. And a lot of people don't realize this too. You can do 1%, 3%. I mean, there's a lot of programs out there as well too. So, hit a lender and tell them what's going on. All right. Was a place that has access to the airport and homes have a garage and private planes. That is Cameron Park. Cameron Park is this like aviator spot where you can actually like buy a plane and literally like just fly it, into your little driveway over there. It's called Aviation Estates or something like that up in Cameron Park. Absolutely beautiful. I myself would never fly planes. I'd want to. Oh my God. The greatest idea in the world. But, I just don't know. I think at a certain age, at least for me, I'm more worried about doing something stupid and then not being around for my kids. So motorcycles are out, hand gliding, all that stuff is out, and I think I'd keep it safe. But my buddy Jerry, she flies and she loves it. But yeah, it's Cameron Park. It's like Aviation Estates or something like that, but absolutely amazing. I couldn't even imagine the concept of like pulling in, to your own private like airport, but you also can park your plane at your house. The only community that I know like that in the Sacramento area, which is cool. All right. My son, Jason, no problem, Jason. I am your father. It'd be an honor. All right, reach out and we'll talk. And I don't blow smoke, so if you're game, let's do it. It'll be fun. And Jason, also with you, my friend, we got to do some collabs and we got to get out there. So I'm okay with that as well. All right, let's go back to some stats. And if you guys got more questions, let me know. And thank you very much for the birthday wishes. I know it sounds kind of weird. People are like, it's your birthday and you're doing this live show. Coming out here, giving knowledge and having you guys show up and everything too. This I consider a very big responsibility because I know this show affects a lot of people moving into the area. And I always want to make sure that if I say something, I do it. And that's one of the things I've always been like, I guess, is that if I say Wednesday at 7, I'm going to show up, unless I have a video or something, I'm really, really sick. That's just the type of person I am. So we'll keep going. All right. So we got this market. All right, so what we got? Months of inventory, a little bit better in Folsom. Okay, but Elk Grove definitely is a tad bit cold right now too. If it was me and I was thinking about Elk Grove, this could be a good time to jump into Elk Grove, and if you guys know Elk Grove is very, very, very competitive. So this could be the moment if you guys are thinking maybe like Elk Grove is a spot. It seems like right now, and we don't know May numbers just yet. It seems like April could be maybe that time to jump into Elk Grove. All right. This is your birthday party. I know, literally. I made pizzas with my daughter and went to swim practice. As you guys know, and honestly, hopefully you guys do when you guys, maybe now or anything, your birthday parties tend to be more about your children having fun at your birthday parties, I guess you can say it, as opposed to you actually having fun. So I made sure I got everything. My daughter's happy. It was a good thing. All right. And I called, it was good. All right, I'm seeing increased numbers of realtors in the market for profession and such. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me see if I can read this again. I'm seeing increasing numbers of realtors. Is the market for the profession saturated? Too many realtors, not enough listings? It's not really the listings. It's just about kind of the leads. There's a lot of realtors out there. I mean, I would say the biggest thing about real estate right now is that, people think it's easy to just jump into real estate. And that's the thing that's really, really tough, especially when you look at Sacramento, because I don't know what real estate's like in the Orange County or San Francisco. I'm sure it's super competitive. But the thing about Sacramento is that you have a lot of the realtors who've been doing it forever. I mean, they grew up with people here and they have this tight bond. I mean, and they do the old school marketing and they don't know YouTube. They don't know any of that stuff too. They do the billboards, they do, the bench ads and everything too, but they've known each other since grade school. And so you have that type of vibe here in the Sacramento area, and it's not an easy thing to break into. Now, the thing that always kills me is the fact that you see a lot of these young realtors jump into real estate and, they're following some of the people who don't know social media and marketing. For me, I look at some of these people, and I'm always talking to people about YouTube, about Instagram, about marketing. I look at them, I'm like, you're so good at Instagram, you're so good at TikTok, you're so good at YouTube. That's where your focus should be. But they're so ingrained with the cold calling, the door knocking and everything too, because they were taught that way by someone who, back in the day, there wasn't social media. So I think that in Sacramento, there's tons of realtors. There are absolutely tons. I think there's a lot of realtors, so much so that it can be a little annoying. And a lot of people right now, because the market isn't what it was before, a lot of realtors I see realtors having 2 jobs. I see realtors, maybe doing 2 or 3 transactions in the course of the year. It's not an easy market right now. And you've got to be really, really diligent, good, and available for your clients, and just willing to just go the extra mile. Now, one of the things a lot of people have noticed that I have a team. And what we normally do in every single transaction is bring on 2 people per transaction. So that way, in case we are busy or I'm at the dentist, we have redundancy. But I think if anything, when you guys are out there and you're looking for realtors, just try to find a professional realtor who's doing it full time. Who also, when it gets busy or slow, they're giving you the same attention. That's a huge one. I'd say find a realtor also who knows various places in the Sacramento area. One of the things that kills me is because we have this old school kind of vibe in Sacramento, you have realtors who primarily do Elk Grove, but they're also showing people homes in Roseville, but they don't know Roseville. They can show Roseville, they can open the houses in Roseville, but they don't really know Roseville. So I'd say just make sure you're working with realtors that know the Sacramento area, the metro area, because it's crazy. I was watching this 3 years or something. The normal person who relocates into an area ends up selling their home within the first 3 years because they moved into the wrong spot. And we've run into a couple clients who we start working with us after they moved into the wrong house. So I would say for people out there, understand that, if you're local, where to move. Hey, Carmichael, I grew up here. I went to Rancho. I know exactly what I want. Street and everything too. But if you're someone coming into this area, take your time, get educated about the area, find a realtor that has patience, knows the area really, really well, and has a track record. It's easy. Say, hey, have you sold homes in Elk Grove? Yes. Have you listed homes in Elk Grove? Yes. Have you sold homes in Roseville? Ask those type of questions because not all areas are the same. Comps, CMAs, price per square foot, development, everything too. That's absolutely huge. And so, if you're one of those relos that, you don't take the time to interview your realtor, you don't figure out or work with a team that knows it, you're going to be paying commissions, 2.5 to buy your house. Then you're going to be paying 2.5 to sell your house. And by the time you get into your new house where you're supposed to be in the first place, you're like down, like 30, 40, $50,000. So just be careful and pick the right team when you jump in. Right. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see. All right. How bad is PG&E? I've heard stay away from it and try to stay in SMUD or Roseville electric areas. Okay, so here's what I'll say about PG&E. One is there's a crazy documentary how PG&E was killing people or something on Netflix. I watched that the other night. Crazy, but getting away from that. PG&E, the thing about it comparatively to SMUDs and Roseville Electric is it's half the price. So, Roseville Electric and SMUD are half the price, and PG&E is like double it. So, and I know I'm not saying that correctly, I apologize, but PG&E is double the price of Roseville Electric and SMUD pretty much. So that's why people love it. And for me, I'm on SMUD. I absolutely love it. I do not think I would move out of SMUD. Roseville Electric probably would be okay, but SMUD is just unbelievable. Power doesn't go down. I don't have those brownouts. I don't have any of that stuff. It's just great. In fact, it's so good that I don't even have solar on my house, and I pay less than some houses in like a PG&E country that have solar. So yeah, SMUD's awesome. Roseville Electric is awesome. And PG&E is like, is double what you'd be paying for SMUD and Roseville, and sometimes more than that. So just be careful. Because what you notice is a lot of people moving to Sacramento and they want those huge houses. They want those big, huge houses. Air conditioning bill, heating bill, and it just goes crazy. And then you got the rolling blackouts, the brownouts, and everything too. So you're gonna need generators, sometimes extra fridge. It can be a pain. So a lot of people like to steer into SMUD and to Roseville Electric because of that. I have a graphic I popped on one of my live shows. I'll see if I can bring it in for the next one. Yeah, 100%. SMUD for me is a way to go. Roseville Electric. Yeah, I wouldn't blink about that either. But PG&E, I don't think I'd go into a PG&E country just because, the bills that I've seen. So, right next. There's always seems to be too many realtors. It's far too easy to get. It is super easy to get licensed. And the crazy part about getting the license is, you understand the average person will buy maybe one or two homes their entire lives. This is the biggest purchase they'll ever deal with. And yeah, the test is way too easy. If you guys saw the questions and everything, it's like, if you go to an apartment, what do you sign? A deed? A lease? It's just like these questions are just so simple. So yeah, I think the bar should be raised a little bit for it because this is a huge asset. And I'd say again, when you guys are like, working with realtors, just make sure that, they're nice people, they're hustlers and everything too, but just make sure that they're, they got what it takes to make it happen for you guys as well too, and you feel comfortable with it. And the other thing too is you're going to be going down the road with somebody, and you need to feel comfortable that they're going to do a good job for you. All right. In that case, why won't everyone just become a realtor and buy their own home without paying a realtor? I'll tell you why. Fees. Well, ideally, honestly, if you're going to buy your own home, it probably does make sense to do it. But then you got to hang your license, with a brokerage. You got to pay E&O insurance. There's a whole bunch of stuff. But yeah, I look at it and I say to myself, yeah, why wouldn't you? Possibly it just takes you a while to do it. You got to go through this exam. You got to read these books. They're open book tests too. So they're not like hugely out of control tests, but they do make you jump over just enough hurdles where, yeah, you just say, okay, look, I'm just getting a realtor involved. All right, video guy Matt. The salesperson license exam should be eliminated and replaced with the broker exam. Then the broker exam should be made 10 times harder than I was going to tell you. That's the funniest thing about real estate. I'll tell you something. Honestly, I've seen the broker exam. It's not really that different than the real estate salesperson exam. Brokers aren't ever, oh, you're a broker. It doesn't mean anything. I kid you not. Like, it's a little bit. It actually makes me laugh a little. Okay. Are 2 and 4 acre properties in outlying areas more expensive to insure or considering to be higher fire hazard? Yeah. It all depends too. You could find like yourself, like 2 to 4 acre parcel somewhere like a Fair Oaks. There are some, not a lot. It all depends on, accessibility, close to a fire hydrant, close to a fire department. All these things factor in. Also, what type of like land? Is it near like dry grass? Also, if you're near the water too, for some reason, by the water is harder to insure as well. That's why I'm almost telling people, and we work with people building custom homes, talk to my buddy Javier or talk to someone who knows home insurance so they can tell you exactly what areas to stay away from. Yeah, but yeah, you're right. Agreed, but 10x? I thought the brokers, yeah, I'm pretty presently, maybe 2x. All right, Roosevelt Electric is awesome. There we go, Roosevelt Electric. But be careful because there are new home developments in Roseville that are actually covered. Yeah, I know, that whole like Brandy Vineyards over there, PG&E, yeah, there's some areas that are. Now, and that's the thing, and you know, I've been trying to say this on the lives, there are parts of Roseville that you just gotta be careful because they are on PG&E, yeah. All right, Wendy. Happy birthday, Mark. Thank you, Wendy. I appreciate it. And I'll be seeing you tomorrow. All right. Why is Rancho Marietta not getting a lot of coverage? What's your opinion about this place? I was actually just talking he's a father of a daughter on the swim team, and we were talking about it, and he's talking about Rancho Marietta. I think Rancho Marietta is a great spot. I think it's nice. I think what he mentioned to me, and I'll tell you almost word for word, I was like, well, have you ever considered moving out to Rancho Marietta? He's like, you know what? Rancho Marietta just feels too far. Now, if you've driven out to Rancho Marietta from Folsom, you're going to know also the roads are like this. It's just too far. For a while, though, Rancho Marietta and El Dorado Hills were neck and neck, but El Dorado Hills is a lot easier to access. So I do think that Rancho Marietta is nice. I think Toll Brothers is building a community out there, but I think that the roads are a little bit of a pain. And I just think it feels too far removed for people, and they don't even consider it. It's one of those things that I don't even think they're searching for it. I think Rancho Marietta is great, but if it was me, Folsom may be the farthest I'd go for work. Past that, it's just really, really far. All right. I know pretty much everything about Rancho Marietta. The current builders have got themselves in over their heads. Yeah, I heard a little bit about flooding, but you know, I heard some of that stuff. So I don't know. I got to go out to Rancho Marietta. Maybe I'll do a couple home tours out there for you guys. Also, I got a video coming out on Friday, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. We went to El Dorado Hills. Oh my God, we filmed, what is it, Blackstone, in the East Ridge Village. We went to Promontory, Waterford. We went to all these really nice communities, El Dorado Hills. So it'll give you a little bit of idea the type of communities you're going to bump into in El Dorado Hills. It's pretty fun. All right, so as we discovered, Folsom, pretty poppin'. Elk Grove, a little bit colder, especially comparatively to last year. So if you are an Elk Grove fan and you're thinking about jumping in, this could be a good time. All right, now let's go to the next one, West Sacramento. And I'm picking them randomly. Now, if you guys want to, I can bring on these statistics of any area. Let me know in the comments below. West Sacramento. West Sacramento, super close to downtown Sacramento, and people like that. But it is not as easy as it seems to get from West Sacramento to Sacramento. Until it is. I mean, light rail is supposedly going to be connected out there, and there should be a little easier access. When that happens, it's going to be a game changer. Sutter Health Park is out there as well, too. You're going to see the whole entire kind of Riverwalk being developed. I like West Sacramento. I think it's very, very nice. But let's talk about how it did. First, let's get some comments, though. Boom. You know, Roy. Initial reaction to East Ridge Village. They're going to sell at 2 points. Yeah, well, I saw that. You know, what was it? High 8s, low 9s. I mean, I like the location, right? I mean, I don't like the location if I'm someone who lives in Blackstone. But, I mean, the location is nice. You know, I think, though, if you look at... Here's one thing that's killing me about Lennar, and I'm not going to dive too much into Lennar. You know, you guys already know what I think about Lennar. Is that... they build such boxy homes. Lennar, if you look at like Russell Ranch and a lot of the stuff they were building there, they're just boxy homes. I think Blackstone, there's a lot of Lennar builds over there that are boxy. I just think that you see such beautiful like landscape in El Dorado Hills and like Folsom, and you see these boxes. Because if you see how Lennar builds, they have the box kind of shape, right? They're nice inside and they're nice homes. But man, there's no difference in structure when they're building. So as far as the location, East Ridge Village, I think it's great. On the hill, beautiful. The views have got to be spectacular. Man, I just hope these floor plans aren't your typical Lennar box. That would be very, very sad. So I don't know. I think again, for me, I think Lennar is a little overpriced in East Ridge. but we'll see. I mean, what's called high 8s, low 9s. Can they start moving inventory? Probably. A higher price point. Is it someone who's going to jump in there, or someone who maybe is going to pivot to Serrano or Promontory or Waterford, another community closer to Folsom Lake? For me, I like the older established communities better, but that East Ridge Village, the views are going to be unbelievable. I'll tell you this, Lennar is so good at picking out pieces of land, because if you looked at it, El Dorado Hills, they've already picked out some amazing pieces. They've already, in their past projects, picked out some of the primo view location lots. In Russell Ranch, I think their location in Russell Ranch was the best in Russell Ranch, except for that big tower by the clubhouse. Other than that, I thought their location was phenomenal. And I think East Ridge Village could be their best location where they're building with views. Again, it'll be interesting to see how it all kind of works out. All right, where's that West Sacramento map graphic you showed me? Like, what program called it? Oh, this thing, I've been kind of jumping into like this one program that we had a guide to kind of create map stuff. And I got a whole crew that does this stuff for me. So I don't know where they did it, but I'll find out for you. It's pretty cool though, huh? This is West Sacramento. Look at this. Look at all these fun things you can do here. But here's the thing. That's a map. Let's get into some stats. West Sacramento is really, really interesting though. If you look at this, 60 homes for sale, only 60, 27. As far as everything goes in West Sacramento, I think West Sacramento is kind of ripe. There's not a whole lot of inventory in West Sacramento, but I do think you're seeing some good resale opportunities there. I think West Sacramento is going. I mean, if you look at it right here, what's called, what is it? There were 73 homes last year, and now we got 60 homes. So a lot of people are buying homes a lot of people are buying homes. There aren't a lot of homes for sale right now in West Sac. So West Sac is getting a little bit more popular as well. I think it's always kind of been popular. I think that Jefferson is can be a little bottlenecky, and it feels a little farmy when you get out there. But I think like the Southport area is beautiful. I think that river area as well too is really nice as well. But you're seeing less homes for sale, which means that, inventory jumped 25% last month, giving buyers more choices while sales. Yeah. All right. So as of last month, we did increase. Now we have more inventory in the market in West Sac, but still, if you compare it to last year, there's less homes on the market, which I honestly think is because even though we have more homes on the market than we did in March, I still think West Sacramento is like the dark horse in this one. I think West Sacramento is going. I think for it to have like that lower inventory on the market in this type of market just shows that people are buying West Sacramento, which are nice. All right, let's look at pending sales, 27. All right, what do we got? 30 pending last year. There are more pending, but there are also more homes for sale as well too. If you look at the ratio, we're still West Sacramento is doing really, really phenomenal this year. As far as last month, 32, so a little less. That's not bad, but again, the market is getting a little cooler. West Sacramento is one of those spots. I think you guys got to check it out if you're thinking and you need to be close to downtown. If you're someone who's maybe considering like Elk Grove, Natomas, of course, go to greatschools.org and vibe out the schools, but they're building a lot of new homes out there. Toll Brothers is going to be building out there as well too. I mean, you got the Delta Breezes, you have the West Sacramento Yacht Club. It's nice. River life is alive and well over there too. All right, for sold homes, 27. March 2026, 32. So, okay, less sold homes in April. But if you compare it, now this is good, against April 2025, there are more homes sold this year. All right, so West Sacramento is going. I like it. Interesting. Okay, prices surged in April. Look at that. Man. I mean, we're at 665 in April. So we're seeing sellers list homes, and based on this, we're seeing stuff still get into contract and sell. So as I'm seeing it based on the statistics is that West Sacramento price per square foot is probably increasing, which we're going to see in the next slide. And the average sold price is increasing like crazy. Look at that. Look at that. Look at those jumps right there. Man. Okay. Average sold price. That's crazy numbers. All right, man. Over a 14.7% from last year. Okay. So let me say this. If you're someone who bought in West Sacramento last year, you got to be smiling. Yes, buyers are having a good good chance jumping into homes. But I mean, if I saw that kind of stuff, guys, your estimates have been got to be going through the roof. All right. I like that. West Sacramento, what do we got here? Homes, again, selling faster than we were last year. And again, I think well-priced homes in West Sacramento will fly. But if you look at it here, look at this. What is it? 25 days versus March. Look at that. Man, that's nuts. Okay. We like West Sacramento. Sellers have leverage again in West Sacramento. Again, if you're someone who's looking to sell a house in West Sacramento, even though buyers do have a little bit more inventory, I still think it is kind of flipping into a little bit of a seller's advantage here in West Sacramento. All right. Homes are selling above asking price while inventory remains relatively tight. Sellers are back in a strong position. So if you are someone looking to sell your house in West Sacramento, it isn't bad. I mean, West Sacramento, based on this, as far as the statistics are looking, I mean, West Sacramento is even outdoing Elk Grove, which is crazy. All right, now let's go to Granite Bay. Now, Granite Bay, as you guys know, is one of the more bougier communities in the Sacramento area. One of the highest price per square foot, period. So we got Granite Bay and how we're doing here. All right, home sales, 69. What are we at? Up from March, 54. We're up 69. And we are up from last year, which was 67. So Granite Bay is flying. Again, if you guys have watched the live shows, you've seen one thing straight up is that luxury market is alive and well. People are loving those luxury homes. A lot of people are coming in and buying them. You're right. Yes. I liked all your graphics you're using, but I'd like to be able to create a map similar to that one. I'll find out for you, video guy Matt. I got you. I'm going to write this down in my note. Matt to Matt. All right. Mark, have you talked about the roach issue for the past 5 years all over Sacramento? No. I haven't run into any roaches. I can't talk about it. Honestly. Maybe, I mean, point me in an article. I'd love to find out. But for me, no, I don't know. I haven't really run into anything in my own home. Nothing. And I got a crazy 10-year-old. All right, let's get into some more stats. All right, so we got Granite Bay, and the luxury market is alive and well. Homes for sale, 69. We are up last year by 2 listings. Okay, and as of March, ooh, man, look at that jump. 27.8%. Pending sales, again, up against last month and last year. Granite Bay is on fire. Sold homes. Ooh, now this is where it gets interesting. So what we're seeing here is probably a little bit of the falling out of contract, as I like to call it. Luxury buyers, luxury worries, maybe people were bailing out of stuff. So you got 22 homes that were sold in April. Against March, that was less. Less homes for sale, less homes sold in April than March, which means there's got to be fallouts. Because if you look at the pending sales, there are more pendings. Yeah, so the fallout's got to be kind of crazy. Again, luxury market, when you're paying like $3-4 million for homes, it's a tough one. A lot of people do back out. And I have been seeing people back out from deals. So I would say, even though the luxury market is alive and well, guys, I've been seeing people come in with crypto. I've been seeing people come in that verify your buyers. A lot of out-of-state people also want to purchase these houses sight unseen, and there's a lot of scams going on too. And I think we're seeing some fallout in the luxury market. But again, I will tell you that what I've been seeing is a lot of these luxury homes that you would say to yourself, that's way too much for Sacramento, are going. So I think the luxury market is pretty good. All right, video guy Matt. Mark lives in Gold River, which I think is one of the last standing communities safe from the Great Roach invasion. You know, I saw a couple. They were actually taking photos. They were from the HOA taking photos. No, I'm joking. I digress. Sorry about that. Sometimes in my HOA in Gold River, you see sometimes people walking by and they're taking photos of stuff in your house and they're reporting you, which drives me crazy. Okay, Granite Bay. Demand is picking back up in Granite Bay. I don't know if it's ever left. I think in communities like Los Lagos, Wexford, Eden Rock, where else do we got? Shelbourne. I mean, something goes on the market, it's priced decently, and it flies. Also, even that Tim Lewis Magnolia community in Granite Bay, that thing flew. It's almost sold out. All right, so what do we got? 3.1. That's a decent amount of inventory in Granite Bay. Again, I would also say, even though the luxury market is alive and well, the higher the price point, what you notice is the more days on the market, and that's just kind of how it is. All right, absorption rate, that's decent. Homes for sale. Again. Okay. 69. So we got a little bit more homes for sale. New listings, 49. All right. More new listings and more homes for sale. All right. That ain't too bad. Prices remain strong. Granite Bay, again. One thing you're going to notice about Sacramento, and just I think in the nation in general, a lot of people had those 2.75s. And so I think a lot of people, even in Granite Bay, they have these really beautiful houses and they've got 2.75s. And I think there are some of those people who are saying, if I get the price I want, I'll sell it. If they don't, I'm going to live in my nice big mansion in Granite Bay on a 2.75 interest rate, and I'm good to go. So, you know, even though luxury stuff is moving, I think some of the stuff that's listed that's way higher than it should be is sitting. All right. Average sold price per square foot, $454. Like I said, one of the highest in the entire area. Average sold price, $1.525 million. Man, median sell price, 1.47. 4, median active, 1.4. Guys, Granite Bay, again, if you're looking at these numbers and thinking to yourself, there's no way I would pay this much for a house in Sacramento. Granite Bay is that spot. You're going to have that U driveway. You're going to have your private gate. You're going to have security. You're going to have these big, huge 5, 6, 10,000 square foot homes, guest houses, casitas, really, really nice neighborhoods as well, too. Beautiful, beautiful spot. Now that we talked a little bit about Granite Bay, here we go. Let's get one more slide. Buyers, average days on the market, 54. That's decent, though. I mean, honestly, some of these other markets throughout the country with luxury listings, we're looking at 120, 140. Average, 64 is not bad. Sold differential, 99. Yeah, it's about good. Now, check this out. We just talked about Granite Bay. Now let's compare Granite Bay to Walnut Creek. Now, as you know, in Walnut Creek, there are some really nice bougie listings in Walnut Creek. Totally get it. My brother lives there. My mother lives there as well, too. But, you know, some of the houses are just your normal homes. $2 million normal homes. The crazy part is, if you look at this, if you look at the price per square foot in Walnut Creek, you look at the price per square foot in Granite Bay, right? You could sell your house in Walnut Creek and pretty much buy an amazing home in one of the primo spots in the Sacramento metro, and you wouldn't even be breaking a sweat. And that's why people love the Sacramento area. I mean, look at this. I mean, look how crazy that is. I mean, Walnut Creek's market, look at that. Inventory. I mean, there's barely any. Average days on the market, 13. I mean, crazy. And then here, come to Sacramento, you're looking for your nice house in Granite Bay, inventory. You got like 3 months worth of inventory, average days on the market, a couple months. That's nuts. So if you're someone in the Bay and you're thinking, well, you know, where do I go? Where do I go to buy myself that amazing house? Pay a mortgage that's probably less than I'd be paying for a normal house in Walnut Creek. You come to Granite Bay. You can get yourself a 5,000 square foot home, gated community, security, pool, guest house, and everything you want. But that's why people come to Sacramento from the Bay Area, a lot of them. And you don't even have to go that crazy. I mean, if you have a house in Walnut Creek and you want to have a couple of rental properties, investment properties, and you want to buy a house maybe somewhere like Gold River, I mean, why not? It's still going to be probably bigger and honestly probably better than the home in Walnut Creek. All right, that's my spiel. Here for 1 sec. Oh, that just means that absorption rate is, for the most part, sorry about that. Absorption rate is how fast people are eating up the inventory. So you're going to see in some of these areas where the absorption rate is higher. That just means that in Walnut Creek, they're gobbling up inventory really, really well. Here, they're eating inventory, but they're still a little bit like they're going at their own pace. So that's kind of where absorption rate comes in. Yeah, right. Let's see if we can get some questions. Okay, so that's for today. Now let's go into this. Okay, so this was yesterday. It wasn't today. So I just wanted to get you guys a little bit of an idea. Now today got a little bit better, but we were peaking as of yesterday, and now we're kind of, it went down a little bit. So as you guys know, you saw that rates are kind of, well, they're not as fantastic. They're not what we were promised as far as when Jerome Powell left. Is this affecting a lot of people buying? Yeah, 100%. I think the things that are factoring into Sacramento's market to make us a little soft at this point, number one, I think it's the heat. Number two is I think that people are anticipating rates to be lower than they are right now. And I think new homes, the incentives aren't as good as they were maybe 3 or 4 months ago. So I think something's got to give in our market to kind of get ourselves back on track. Hopefully we'll see that relatively soon. Oh, and hey, by the way, guys, if you guys are enjoying the show, smash that like button. It would mean a lot to me and the YouTube algorithm. All right, let's go. Now, as you guys know, Zillow unveiled some major private documents that showed some crazy strategies. If you always want to take a look at that, this thing called like carrots and sticks, crazy stuff. I won't get too far into it, but if you guys work with Zillow or think about working with Zillow, it's pretty interesting to see the type of tactics Zillow is doing. I'm not saying anyone's playing fair, but man, this Zillow stuff is crazy. All right. So we got some listings that we are promoting today. And if you guys have great listings, if you got some luxury homes you want us to put on the channel, we will be more than happy to bring a film crew out there to film them. Okay, so this is our Davis property. We've had a bunch of showings, great open houses. If you guys are looking for something Davis, everyone loves the area. Davis is very, very highly desirable. This house, it doesn't get cuter than this. Turnkey. Huge backyard. I mean, absolutely gorgeous house. If you guys are looking for something in Davis, reach out to our team. We'd love to show you this house. 710 for a beautiful, beautiful house, turnkey. I kid you not. You'll be very excited about this home. Reach out to myself or Michelle. All right. Gas prices rising. New mortgage rates are following. Who's feeling a bit annoyed? Yes, I'm with you guys. And I think that's another thing too. I think with everything that's happening with the price of everything, I think also the idea with every time you go to the gas station, you know, the idea of buying a house, the idea of jumping out there, mortgage rates going up there, it's just not a fun market to be in. I couldn't understand actually about a month ago why there was this big, huge push for demand. I was telling everybody, I'm glad a lot of people are out there looking for homes. I just couldn't really explain because gas prices were up, interest rate was up. There weren't fabulous incentives at the new home. So I didn't really understand exactly where this demand was coming from. So now that it kind of slowed down a little bit, it kind of makes a little bit more sense. All right. Hold on. Ooh, here we go. Boom. Sorry about that. Didn't realize I didn't have that on. All right. I got to start switching this better. All right. I like El Dorado Hills, but my wife favors Folsom. Okay. El Dorado Hills and Folsom. First of all, those are really, really beautiful areas, right? El Dorado Hills is probably a little bit more hilly, a little bit more windy. Folsom's got its areas, as well. Close to, Briggs Ranch is close to Folsom Lake. Folsom is going to be SMUD. El Dorado Hills is going to be PG&E. I would say for both of them, just make sure wherever you're looking, home insurance is a big one. What's called some of the good communities to look at in Folsom. I would say if you're looking for new homes, everything like on the hill, the Russell Ranch area is beautiful. Taylor Morrison's had a couple communities there, so there's some nice houses over there. What else do I like in Folsom? I like Briggs Ranch. I think Briggs Ranch is great. No HOAs, no Melrose. Rancho Diablo is another one out in Folsom that's beautiful. Same kind of thing. American River Canyon, American River Canyon North. Those are amazing spots as well. I like the Broadstone area. If you're looking for something bougie and everything, 2 streets to look at, maybe Sundal and Serpa as well. Folsom's great. You got the Palladio for shopping. You got movie theaters. You got Whole Foods. You were going to have a sports complex, but that's moving to Citrus Heights. But you have Lifetime Fitness as well. Folsom's beautiful. It's a really nice spot. El Dorado Hills is probably less shopping. And you're going to find communities like maybe Blackstone. There was primarily a Lennar community. You're going to see Serrano North, Serrano, also really beautiful community, kind of golf course-ish. Very Tuscan vibe over there too, Mediterranean. What else are you going to have in Serrano? Waterford, Promontory. What else do I like there? There's just so many nice communities there in El Dorado Hills. Both areas, I would say, just watch out for home insurance, but just know that there is going to be a difference between PG&E and SMUD in those areas. El Dorado Hills, maybe 15, 20, depending on how deep in El Dorado Hills you are further from downtown. And also the thing about Folsom that's kind of interesting is that all the communities I mentioned, they're kind of spread out. So what you're going to notice is American River Canyon North. I mean, it's closer to Granite Bay than it actually is to some of the other communities I mentioned in Folsom. So Folsom is kind of spread out. really nice. I think it's awesome. I think both are nice. I think you got to check them out. I think you got to factor in home insurance as well as if you want to be on PG near SMUD. Also, how close you want to be to shopping. Some people are like, I really need a Costco close by. And El Dorado Hills, the Folsom one is not that far away. And some people want a little bit more of that bougie lifestyle. El Dorado Hills Town Center definitely has that vibe. Really, really beautiful spot. So y'all have fun. Both are awesome. You're right. I'm concerned about the heat. What areas are cooler? West Sacramento is a little cooler. I would say El Dorado Hills at the very, very top, you get a little bit of a wind, but it's not going to be something where it's like going to be that big of a difference. I mean, there's going to be a few degrees difference, yes, but nothing like where you're like, oh man, I'm wearing a jacket today. Sacramento's hot. I can right now today, for example, if I was in El Dorado Hills, I would have been hot. Folsom, I would have been hot. West Sacramento, even, I would have been hot. There's not too many areas where I could say that, oh, wow, now, yeah, it's way cooler. So in Sacramento during the summertime, it's going to be hot. There might be degrees of variance, but it's still very, very warm, just to let you know. You're right. El Dorado Hills and Folsom both have high home insurance rates. Well, here's the thing. I don't think every single community, every single house, I would say though, for me, if I was going to put an offer in on any house or even go look at it, Derek's completely right. I would have a home insurance person on standby and say, what are we looking at for this one? What are we looking at for that one? The last thing you want to do is find that dream home, go out there and all of a sudden find out it's like $14,000 a year for home insurance. You're on the California Fair Plan, and that stuff can change every single year. So things to consider: how close you are to a fire station, fire hydrant, accessibility, and if you're like that house and you got a big, huge, nice backyard or back behind you is open space and it's all dry grass, you could be in problems. So just keep a home insurance person on standby. All right, the prediction markets are betting very, very low chance of Fed rate cut in 2026. Hey, yeah, kind of called that. I didn't think it would be that big of a thing. I think, I think people thought it would be. I was saying this early on. I was thinking that 2026 was going to mimic 2025, and I'm still kind of with that. I'm glad though, for like a month, it seemed like demand was picking up and we were going to go in another direction. But what's happening right now, it just seems like it makes sense because here's the thing, right? Gas prices are high. Grocery prices are high. I mean, if you buy anything from like other countries to come into this country, I mean, you're paying so much money to get them in. Like I have to deal with that stuff too, because sometimes I'll ship stuff in. So with that alone, I mean, what does that do to like a person who's looking to buy a house's mentality? I mean, you're freaking out, right? You're looking at it, thinking to yourself, yeah, I want a house. And then you're filling up your tank and it's like $120. You're like, you go to Costco and you're like, normally Costco's like $300 and today I'm paying like $600. So yeah, I kind of figured that, this year was going to be just like 2025. But I was surprised that we had a big bump of demand. But am I surprised right now that it's a little cooler and that they're saying that we might not see any rate cuts in 2026? No. I mean, for me, it just kind of makes sense. All right. There's actually a greater chance the Fed raises rates versus cuts this year. Well, again, I mean, if you saw the rate thing that I showed you, other than today, I mean, we were spiking close to 7, or it was going in that direction. So hopefully we don't get that high. That would be horrific. All right, Jason Smith, do you see the house Paul is building in Tobear and Folsom? Massive with insane views. I'm going to be, I want to do a video of that one, and I'm videoing another one of his in Truckee. I'm so pumped. It's going to be great. Cooler area would be in Auburn. Yeah, it's cooler. Agreed. I'd say Auburn is probably cooler, but it doesn't have that it's cool. Like I'm going to put on a jacket this evening and go for a walk. I mean, maybe it's just me being from the Bay Area originally, but Sacramento and the Sacramento area is hot. It just is hot. Like my biggest mistake when I moved to Sacramento was driving my black car up to Sacramento and getting into real estate. And I traded that for my white SUV really, really fast. It is just hot here. All right. Fear Peak. Hello. Hopefully you're doing well. All right. Let's get into some more Q&A. What do we got? Who thinks rates are going up this week? Yes, you guys are right, except for today, we're a little down, but we'll see what tomorrow happens. I mean, tomorrow, man. All right. Next one, who wins? Sacramento, Nashville, Denver, not sure. 155 votes, Sacramento for the win, but Nashville beat out Denver. I think Nashville people are loving it. Based off what? If we're doing weather, Sacramento is hard to beat. Agreed. Guys, if you don't like the California lifestyle, if you don't like the weather, yes, it does get hot in Sacramento, but we have our seasons, Sacramento weather, California weather. I mean, that's why we pay a little bit of a premium. And people are like, well, we shouldn't have to pay a premium. Guys, we got, Tahoe's close by, Bay Area's close. You got the, Sierra. I mean, we got so much good stuff here. We got Folsom Lake, American River, Sacramento River, Lake Natoma. I mean, hiking trails, biking trails. We live in a playground. So yeah, we definitely play a premium. All right. Nashville's pretty darn good, but I still love Sacramento. Yep, Sacramento area. It's the only area that's reasonably priced with amenities close by. The coast is toast, but the valley is booming. I love it. If you run for the greatest amount of raw let me guess, from Texas. Okay. Would you buy in Yuba for affordability? Yes. 22%? No. Okay. Now, here's the thing about Yuba, I will say. Areas like Marysville, areas like Linda, areas like Plumas Lake, you can still get yourself a brand new home, sometimes in the high 3s, low 4s. If you are looking for something relatively close to Sacramento and you want something new and you want something that kind of used to be Sacramento prices, that's where you go. And they are growing, they're developing. They got a Costco out there as well. I like that area for people who are maybe priced out of Sacramento. Those would be the areas that I'd be looking at. And specifically, I'd be going to my buddy Dave at LGI. But yeah, I think, that area you can find builders like Cressley, LGI, what is it? Lennar, I think, is out there too, Richmond American. So you can get a good bang for your buck out there. So if you're someone who's like looking at the prices of Sacramento and going, I'm never going to be able to buy a home here, these areas might surprise you. And I definitely would not, I'd check them out. You're right. Redesign the thumbnail. I will check my DMs. All right. People who live in Denver love the weather somehow. Maybe because they because they never lived in California. Yeah, it's like that. What is it? There's two types of people in the world: people who live in California and people who wish they lived in California. That's where now I'm going to get all this hate comments from Texas. But for me, I lived so many places, and I'll tell you something, guys. There's something about California. California is super special. And Sacramento, for me, I'd say if you're looking for the California lifestyle, you don't want to break your bank. You want something nice. You want to pay a mortgage on something that's not a little shoebox. You want the pool. You want the barbecue. You want the community vibe. You want your kids to ride the bikes in the streets. You want to have those 4th of July parties. You want suburban living, but you also want that California dream. Sacramento's where you go. You're right. Who thinks paying $4,000 to $5,000 per month for a starter home is crazy? 90% yes. I'm with you. 178 votes. I would say that you are right on. In Sacramento, that's insane, horrible hot weather with 0 benefits and no water. Rent for San Jose for a house starts at $4,000. So I'd rather own a house for that. Again, that's what I mean. Can you believe that? It starts at $4,000. In Sacramento, you can get yourself a nice brand new home for that. Oof. Well, $3,700 a month, so practically there. Once they add the flood, it's specifically shopped in the flood zone. And now they said FEMA remapped. FEMA is killing me. FEMA's a funny one. I mean, and I don't mean that funny as in good. I just mean West Sacramento. FEMA's like, yeah, Aqueduct's fine. Natomas, yeah. I apologize for FEMA because it has crushed a couple deals for people. Who's looking to buy this summer? No. Again, I would say rates probably are a little bit of effect on that right now. I'd say you're probably going to be looking, if rates continue to go up. I mean, I know they went down a little bit this week or today, but if they continue to go up, it could be a very, very kind of a slow summer. So I don't know. Next week will be very telling because we'll get a little bit more of an idea if rates are going to go towards 7 or if they're going to plateau or if they're going to go down a little bit. So it should be a fun show. Now, this is a good friend of mine's house. It is listed in McDonough. Beautiful, brand new home. If you guys are looking for something, this thing is dialed in, absolutely beautiful. If you guys are looking for a house like this, look at this driveway. Look at that thing's huge. I should have brought more pictures. I apologize. This is a rock star house. If you guys are looking for something, let me know. We can set up a showing or put you in touch with her directly. Just let us know. We've been more than happy to do that. And if you guys want us to promote a listing you have, if you're selling your house, it's not getting any traction, feel free to reach out. You know, we love profiling videos, even though some realtors tend to not really realize the value of marketing their listings. We do. Any listing that we list, we will put on our YouTube channel, and any listing that a realtor talks to us about, wants us to do a video, and the video we think it'll benefit you guys, you're going to see it on the channel, because why not, right? Now, hopefully you guys have enjoyed the show. Okay. Wait, hold on. We got some more questions. Dun, dun, dun. Best community for dog owners. Oh, that's tough. You know, what I found is that a lot of the communities that I've seen, like Gold River, everyone seems to have a dog here. Folsom the same way. I mean, for me, I've never run into any part of the Sacramento area that really isn't that doggy friendly. So I don't know. Yeah. You know, I have my dog, goes with me everywhere we go. So I don't know if there's any community I'd say is the best. I'd say, I don't know, maybe some of the older ones like the Fair Oaks have those old parks. There's some dog parks as well too, but I've seen them everywhere. In fact, I mean, we're actually thinking about getting a couple more rescues. So, all right. If only we could have those great things in California without rampant. Hey, we still got California. Hey, Matt, we'll always have California. All right. Boom. Thanks, man, for giving me the time. I will check my DMs, I promise. And if you want to, hit me on Instagram, Sacramento, real, estate. If you guys want to follow me too, that's fine. All right. I like it. Again, guys, if you're looking to move into Sacramento, reach out to our team. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show, and I'm doing it for you just on my birthday. So smash that like button. Appreciate you guys. And, if there's any questions you have, reach out to me or my team. If you're thinking about listing your home, we'll put it front and center on the largest YouTube channel in Sacramento. And if you are thinking about moving to the area, or you're thinking about, like, you know, maybe moving to another part of Sacramento, reach out to our team. We pride ourselves on education, getting you guys the knowledge you need to make the right decision. That's all I got for this evening. Friday, guys, great video on El Dorado Hills, some of the most popular, sought after communities. So enjoy that video, and until next Wednesday where we go live again. See ya. Okay, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the show tonight. Buying and selling is stressful. I mean, there are definitely different avenues you can go in, and there's no guarantee. Every property is different, whether you're looking to buy it or sell it. So reach out to our team, and we can talk to you a little bit about the pros and cons of selling currently, what your house is valued at, and all that stuff too. There's a link below to schedule a call. Now, if you're thinking about moving to the area, guys, reach out to our team as well. We're working with a lot of people relocating them to the Sacramento area. We absolutely love it. There's a Zoom link below. Set up a time where we can talk to you a little bit about what your needs are. Now, if you enjoyed this live broadcast, smash that like button. We would love to talk to you a little bit about Sacramento. I mean, we always are out and about. So if you're looking at places like El Dorado, Roseville, Rockland, Davis, we got you covered. Just reach out to us. And maybe you don't want to do a Zoom call, so just hit me at my phone number on the banner, and we can talk a little Sacramento. Now, guys, one last thing before I go. There's a playlist right over there of other videos I've done about the Sacramento area. Knowledge is power. Those videos will help you kind of make a decision if Sacramento is that spot for you and you want to take it to the next stage. All right, guys, this is Mark. Have a good one. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. Remember, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next video.